All right, now, if you watch Fox News once or twice, you might have seen Ric Grenell pop up here. Of course, he's a former spokesperson for the U.S. Ambassador to the United Nations, but he's also a cancer survivor who has created a new mobile health app with his partner, and it's called chemoWave, and it essentially helps patients collect personal information, unusual symptoms associated with all the various cocktail chemotherapy concoctions that are out there. Ric Grenell is joining us. So actually, the brains behind the operation came up with this novel idea. Matt Lachey is here as well. Welcome to both of you. Very, very good to have you. How are you feeling now?
Cancer-free.
Cancer-free.
Yeah, so feeling good.
And what got you doing this?
Well, look, I woke up one day and had a lump, and I didn't think anything of it, and within 5 days, I was taking chemotherapy drugs. Was totally out of the blue and random, and yet, while I was doing that, Matt started gravitating to what he knew. It was a little bit annoying, I'll be honest, in the beginning. He
probably found you a little annoying, and this is a way to do something productive, right?
For sure, but he's typing away on a computer and asking me questions. I'm struggling through chemotherapy, but it started to work, and it really enticed me because we took these reports to the doctor.
Now, Rick could actually see, we were tracking his exercise, the medications that he was taking, and then I analyzed the numbers and made Excel charts.
That's your
my background.
Right? So what were you looking for? Like what was affected in his regimen, chemotherapy regimen?
And what was tied to his highs and lows. And it was very plain to see that when he exercised, he felt better. And I could show them that not just on the day of, but several days after, he felt better. Early on, he was really struggling with some digestion issues. And they were spiking on the days that he was taking a certain anti-nausea medication. So we took that to the doctor, and the doctor said, well, that actually could be what's causing that. Let's change it out. And that early
win... But in other words, you were offering an alternative to whatever regimen a doctor gives you, most patients accept blindly. All right, I got to take this on it, when in fact there are alternatives, right?
Yeah. Well, look, a doctor will sometimes come to you and say, hey, how you feeling? And you only tell the doctor how you're feeling in that moment. But what Matt was able to do is present our doctor at the City of Hope, Stephen Foreman, with charts to say, well, this is how he's done the last week or so. And the doctor would go in and say, well, I see that it was low on this Tuesday. What was that? He'd cross-reference. He'd look at what medication.
He'd look at Matt's charts.
He would look at Matt's charts. And so
he could tell when Rick wasn't drinking enough water because I was keeping track of it. So
then he encourages you to do certain things. He switches medications, but you're taking this information to him and saying, wait a minute, this doesn't make sense.
So then fast forward to this app that essentially allows you to look at all the various combinations and the fallout and chart all this? Or?
Right. So 2 weeks ago, we launched on iTunes, and we've made this available for free for chemo patients. And our hope now is to continue that development and make it available on Android, because we want to get this into as many hands as possible. Patients can learn from their own data, and we're also planning to inform research organizations or clinical trials and by putting these devices in the hands of chemo patients.
We've funded this on our own up to this point. And it's free, but now to take it to the next level, there's a whole bunch of other diseases we could combat. We're going to need an investor, so I think that's what we're trying to find right now.
All right, now I should disclose, many years ago, I gave a therapy to treat Hodgkin's disease. The one thing I remember, though, because it was before there was the arrival of the syringe, I think it was so long, but that I accepted whatever the oncologist told me to take or do. Do we have choices here?
Yes, and there's the secret is that most of the chemotherapy side effects can be managed. And so when patients are informed, they can make better choices. They can take questions to their doctor and work much more efficiently with their doctor, so that that more confident decision can...
But you've got to be a nightmare coming into the doctor's office, because you're armed with all these
No, it actually makes the time much more efficient, because the doctor
So no doctor would take offense to it? Like, oh.
Well, our doctor encouraged us to put this into an app, because he said this is so helpful to me to look at the highs and lows. This needs to go to more than just you two. And so that's when he said, I'll put it in.
It focuses the conversation.
Yeah. And you're feeling well now.
Cancer-free.
Everything's going well, and now you're being entertained for a variety of administration jobs.
Well, I hear that rumor.
Really? Or any that you want to share with me? Is this a weak chemical moment where you just might? Or?
No, you know, Neil, I would almost do anything for you, but
not that. Not that. If he did get an administration position, would it make any difference to you?
I'd be excited for him.
Really? Yeah. Really? Well, thank God for looking after him. We like that. We like both of you. You're doing a lot of good.
Thanks.
With something that was really calamitous. You do have options, and I was surprised with a 1.5 to 1.7 million diagnosed every year.
Every year in the U.S.
There is hope. Otherwise, this guy is coming to the doctor with you, armed with charts. It could get ugly. Well,